Yeah, so I would like to introduce Expatti, which is a student hospitality fund. We're located in Potchefstroom. It's quite exciting. We foresee very favorable endeavors for the future. I'd just like to take you through what we currently have, and obviously Section 12J. So we've got a slogan where we say that why pay tax, rather use your money to convert it to rental income properties. And that's basically the focus of what we're doing. So currently the contents that we have is it's about Expatti, and we've got a Section 12J overview, and also we have a Expatti overview with market fundamentals. And we've got product economics that we've been run through. We've got a case study and an exit strategy for investors. Those are all very important topics we just want to touch on briefly. So just bear with us when we go through the technical information. So Expatti has been around. We started about a year ago. Introduced myself to Jeff and shared a vision, and we shared what we're trying to accomplish and how we're going to go about it, and we went through various stages of evaluating what we're doing. And so Expatti was initially started to focus on assisting expats, hence the name Expatti, because of the double taxation laws that came in effect February 2020. Since its inception, Expatti has really grown into, to cater for a much larger, diverse group of high-income individuals. Being in property that's which is seen as a very low risk investment. Our base of operations, obviously, that's in Potchefstroom. Northwest University, we cater for properties that's all associated with Northwest University. So we've got a competitive advantage working with the Northwest University in Mafeking, Vanderbijlpark, and Potchefstroom. The investment strategy, we investing in permissible trades backed by properties such as hotel keep, hospitality, healthcare, and elderly care. Those are currently our main focuses. Just a little bit about myself and my background. So I've been in the construction and property development and financial side of large property developments in a country for many years. Being part of there's the Fourways Mall precinct, being part of an intricate part of Sasol's financial team, being on the Anglo-American, also part of the financial team. So we've got a good experience when it comes to financial matters and forecasting and putting numbers on the table to make it as property investment as valuable as possible. So also with me on the team is Johan van Zyl, which is our financial director, also a member as part of the B ordinary shares. And Johan has also been involved in properties and managing the. He's been in the industry for about 20 years, going through the process of assisting small businesses and growing into large entities. So we've got just a Section 12J overview. Basically it's, it was really drafted into law in 2009, as we all know, but it really only changed when favorable amendments was made in 2015. That show that the industry really began to gain traction. Section 12J, the purpose of Section 12J is to encourage individuals and corporate investors to invest in a range of high return investments. So this is available for individuals, corporation, trusts, and also just a little bit of information surrounding Section 12J. Shares needs to be kept for 5 years, and while they're still earning a yearly dividend and income on your capital invested. It's provisional for pay-as-you-earn tax, and also provisional or pay-as-you-earn tax can be claimed back. It's 100% tax deduction. and we issue share certificates, and also we issue the SAR certificates for your rebates as well. So how much will SARS fund back? So if you make an investment of R1 million in an approved Section 12J company and your effective tax rate of 45%, that means that you get tax relief of 450,000, which will be out of pocket 550,000 for your investment to the value of R1 million. The same applies to trusts and companies, but companies function at 28%, which is a little bit lower, but still great advantages. So Expatti overview, we've got some investment core principles that we like to focus on, and those are the Expatti team invest their own capital alongside investors in investment properties. We get asked that question a lot, it shows the amount of belief we have in our fund and the possibilities of the fund growing. The fund has an initial investment pipeline of about 25 diverse properties in the range of about 50 million in value. We've got a 5-year accelerated growth phase that we're looking to go through, and after that we're looking to convert the fund to a dividend earning fund. I see there's so there's the overview of what we're giving our investors. So the 45% tax bracket, and also something to have a look at is that the fund only acquires full title units with a targeted value of 1.5 to 2.5 million, which is very important when it comes to after the 5 years period to resell those properties back to the market or rent them out, or the growth phases of the capital in invested properties. You get larger growth margins in lower value properties, but still giving good returns, as you can see. We've got a summary of all the risks. The fund only acquires completed units, which is very important. We don't build, we only manage. It's better for us to invest in properties already built. There's no delay in receiving rental income, which boosts our return on investment for our investors. Yeah. So obviously we're looking at a yield of 15%, and we're looking at a return on investment of 24% as an overview. The market fundamentals is why we're looking at why did Expatti choose student hospitality as the main focus of the asset class. If you have a look at the figures in South Africa when it comes to the tertiary education and the amount of individuals that has tertiary education in South Africa, we're only at about 11.3% of individuals that's educated in South Africa compared to a global average of 35.6%. And then also 20% of all South African students can be accommodated in existing facilities. So that means we've got a shortage which is currently on hand. We've got a 43% increase in South African household educational spend since 2010, and we've got a 32% increase in South African school leaves since 2009. Those are very, very important parameters to work from to see what will be the market growth going forward. So we've got a product economics that we have a look at on a table, which basically what we're trying to simplify the whole investment process. We will say if you invest R1 million and you're a 45% taxpayer, it means you're recouping or getting a rebate back of 450,000, which means you're out of pocket 550,000. We grow the fund from R1 million investment to 1.75 million, and we do that by getting returns of 15% per year, and that be for 5 years. So it's 15 times the 5 years gets you to 75. So we're growing the 1 million to 1.75. So out of pocket 550,000 actually equates to 1.75 in growth over 5 years. Just some fees surrounding Expatti. So we've got identifying properties and and getting students in and placing them, the managements around that. We ask capital raising 3 or 3%. We've got a management fee of 2.5%, and we've got a performance incentive of 20%. That's after a hurdle of 7%. And we've got about 25 properties lined up that's ready for investment. And yeah, we've got an exit strategy where you can have your shares can be redeemed for the value of the properties in exchange. Your shares can be redeemed for properties, or your shares can be redeemed for the capital that's being invested, or you can remain as a third option in the fund and still earn a dividend. We're aiming for dividends at 4.5% per year, and we're looking for a return on investment for 24%, which is quite significant if you play in the student hospitality market, and also in any property investments which is low risk. Yeah, Jeff, that sums up what I've got to give over to you today, and if there's any questions from your side.
Yeah, so thanks, Joe. So yes, I have got some questions from some of the audience. What is occupancy figures currently of student accommodation? And I know that you're specifically targeting Potch, so maybe you want to talk about the Potch market specifically.
Yeah. So the Potch market, until about a week ago, we had an initial drive of about 1,300 students coming to Potchefstroom University. That would be under the NSFAS accreditation, which is a subsidy by government. So we focus on those individuals with the advantage that the university pays Expatti directly. There's no intermediate student that pays us for rental. So to come back to your question, so we're looking at of those 1,300 students that's coming over, we've only filled positions of 1,000 in the properties that we have. We're looking to fill another 300, and we're looking for new year students as seen a significant increase, and that will be in the middle of March when the new year's or the first year students come through the university. We'll see double that figures in occupancy rates that the guys are looking to achieve. So at this stage we're under occupied by 300. We're going to fill that position up until the 1st of Feb, when all the registrations for second, third and fourth years has been done. We'll fill up those 300 positions, and we'll be short with student accommodation, about 1,400, 1,500 further beds will be needed in Potchefstroom. And the properties we're currently looking to service has got about 500 beds. So we can meet the demand of the 1,500 by about 500 beds currently. There will still be a shortfall.
So we had another fund, also student fund, pitching earlier. And one of the questions that came through, and I'm going to just ask it to you as well, because I think it's quite a relevant question, is now that a lot of students are going online, and they're obviously then doing that from the comfort of their own homes, is that going to affect you in any way with your demand for student housing in Potch?
Yeah, so that's a very valid question. We get that a lot. So what we're focusing on is NSFAS accredited subsidy students, meaning that for them to get their their housing grant, food subsidies, internet, electricity, water, all those amenities included, they'll have to come to Potchefstroom, and they're currently doing it. So that's why we've got such high booking figures. To cater for the other side of the equation, where we've got contact sessions lined up for students, something that's been left behind is the fact that a lot of remote students, learners, will actually need to come to universities and do contact sessions on a regular basis. So all the properties that we're looking to rent, or that we currently have on book and looking to buy into, has got the option also to convert some of those units to even higher earning rooms when we do contact sessions for students needing to come, because that will actually, nobody wants to expend the money for renting for 12 months. I'm talking about remote students, but they'd rather come in for a week or two to come and do the contact sessions that they need to do.
Yeah, so I must say, if I was a student, I'd prefer to be a contact student rather than remote at home, because university life is, is part of is part of an experience.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, so your pipeline. You want to talk about your pipeline?
Yeah. So pipeline is we've signed properties. We've signed 5 large properties already. We've got a pipeline of about 25 properties. That will get us to the 50 million that we're seeking for the fund. All those properties is earning 15% yield per year. Excluding the tax benefit of the the Section 12J advantage. So yeah, we've got a lot of properties lined up. We've already pre-registered them for occupancy, which means that when we actually physically give the green light, go ahead, we can occupy those properties, and it will just be a matter of paperwork to convert it to the Expatti fund.
Okay, great. So, I think, just in summary, you have chosen Potch as your niche. You come out of the construction industry. You understand how to build cheaper and quicker, and which is obviously advantageous for the investors because in getting the returns. Yeah. Just an interesting point, which is a side note, is that expats are, from this year, yeah, are now subject to tax. South African tax, right, notwithstanding the fact that they're working offshore and South Africa's taxed on worldwide income. Yeah. So, so it's quite an interesting, extension of Section 12J, because now expats can actually invest in a Section 12J and at the same time get advantage of paying lesser tax, notwithstanding the fact historically they were excluded from the tax, the right, South African tax net.
Yeah, to tell you that I was one of those expats, so I know exactly how that taxation will what will be the implication of it to South African taxpayers working abroad, out of country, earning large salaries, but still want to get the benefit of being a zero tax, achieving a zero tax status for the financial year. Expatti can give that to them in the sense that they can do the investment because they will invest in South Africa in any case, and still get that special taxation advantage, to exempt them from further taxes.
Okay, well, great. So thanks, Joe, and to all those expats out there, you're talking to Expat himself. Yeah. Good luck with your fundraising.
Thank you.
I know that you understand that Potch market well. We've spent a lot of time together. Yeah. So good luck, and look forward to watching you, prosper and grow.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.